Oh, there we are. Gotcha. Thank you. Junior tech support. I love it. Wow. There's fresh scones if you want. Alrighty. Morning, good. Water. Drinking. Got my cafe. Back. Got my artist is so functional without caffeine. Pull up my reference. Friend over here. Hmm. I uh, Tis warm in the house, and I just don't want to. Really? Nothing like trying to get a thing off and having it be like, nope. Realize, oh, they potentially hydrated. All right. All I'm gonna do is make my skin and my that to come off. So, yay! Yeah. Alrighty. Oh wait, of cold water. Wait a minute. I would rather not get a puck. That. Ooh. I'm gonna pause the stream for a second. That kind of hurt. And this, folks, why hydration is important. I love my caffeine. Put that on the side now. Have some water. Ouch. So interestingly enough, used a trick or have a ring that like doesn't want to come off. You came for the sculpting. So if you've got a ring that, you know, your knuckles were maybe swelling a little bit, you're a little dehydrated, hydrating is important, but you're trying to get a ring off and it's just like, not wanting to come off. Take some ribbon, slide it through, and this part you've got to move a little bit quickly because you don't want to cut off circulation, but you wrap ribbon finger or the joint that's in trouble. Don't have tape at the moment. You're supposed to kind of tape it in place. Pulling this, and what it does is it compresses that joint and it pulls the ring upward and helps pull the ring off. Not a great example, actually, my pinky, but yeah. Woofda. Okay, fingers feeling all right. Water next to me. Tank up on hydrating. But epoxy, I am absolutely not doing that barehanded because I don't feel like scrubbing black off of my hands for the rest of the day. Yeah, well, I am not loving these. I got these front holster, and they're just, I feel like thick as the Nitrile gloves that I get at the hair supply place. Which, I mean, I guess kind of makes sense, because if you're dealing with food and just not wanting to contaminate someone's food, it's going to be less aggressive than, like, if you're a hairdresser and you're... But still. Right, so for anyone who hasn't used it before, Epoxy Sculpt is awesome. It is incredibly hard, incredibly durable, dries like stone. Like, done, I could down in the yard. I won't. But like, if you wanted to do garden sculpture, but not some strong stuff. So mix equal parts A and B. I highly recommend gloves because it gets all in the little groove of your hands and your fingers. Sticky when you first mix it. But I will scoop out my part A with one glove and my part B with another glove, because where I'm scooping, I'm getting bits on my glove. If I then use the same hand to scoop part B, wherever those little crumbs come in contact with the part B, it starts curing. That's how you contaminate and ruin the entire 4-pound tub, 2-pound tub, 2-pound tub of epoxy. The other thing I would suggest is don't do huge chunks at once. Like, this is about the max that I'll pre-mix, because once it starts curing, the clock kind of starts. I find that I have about an hour to work with it before it becomes hard enough that it's really not worth fighting it. And at that point, I'll usually just like roll it in a ball or something and to attach tools together or make needle tools or sculpting tools, because it's really good for that. Durable, very lasting. Once it cures, it's cured. That's it. your work time is done. Unlike polymer clay, which oven. Hello, boys. I see you. Outside my window, I've got a small flock. I don't know the name for of blue jays, and they're giving me grumpy face because they want their peanuts. But with bird flu, we've kind of started leading away from feeding our local birds. A bit grumpy at me, but I got cats, dogs, and I don't really want to stuff. All at this point, but it's unfortunate. Sort of abundance of caution. I guess cats are really able to carry it, being hurt by it. And we want to protect the fur babies. Okay, there we go. So, yeah, see, it gets little flecks all over, and that would cross-contaminate my entire bins, which would not be cool. Over for 1 second, my friend. And I'm going to mixy. So, or daughter. Authentic. So it's like a gray color and a black, and you just mix the epoxy sculpt. It is completely braided, no more streaks. State shine. Cloudy sky, that sort of bright white misty cloudy that says snow is coming. I really hope we get more. They're talking about 8 inches in part of the state, and I think that's probably going to be a little northern than us, but for any snow at this point. A, we need the water. Try and make it this year, but also because and doggos playing in it, so it's too funny because Hope came from Texas. I don't think she's had much experience with snow, and she's still fairly young. So the last snow we got, we let her out in the backyard, and she goes to the drifts, snow plowing all over the place and crunching on it, and thought it was the neatest thing ever. Alright, so looks pretty well incorporated. Solid black, no streaks. Thing is, if you don't mix it properly and completely, then it won't cure right. You'll end up with either spots that don't harden or weak spots. Now that I have mixed it, oh, I put my gloves off. Still have to press. right. Started. Oh. Let's see. Still. You're just like, I know it. So, let's see. I won't even. Come on. Jesus. Oh, you snuck right out, you little bugger. Alright. Nope, nope, nope. Thank you very much. That is not. Okay. I say, which ends up being the case. There we go. What I'm looking for. No. Background. He's very insistent on letting us know everything going on in the neighborhood. Like a squirrel runs down the street, or, you know, neighbor decides to have a get together and there are people, you know, parking our house. Obviously, something we absolutely know about. Because anything else is unacceptable. Catch. Yeah. Head base is incredibly cool, but for my purposes, catch my. Or that touching. It's not going to interfere. Makes it pleasing. I do like the fact that you can chemical. Acetone, turpentine. Herbal is done. Plus, I love the silicone opening. It's funny, I used to buy this 3-set tips at Michael's polymer clays, but there was one tool of the 3 that I used constantly. I didn't really use the other ones, so it was another like 12 or 13 bucks every tool. And then I realized that old putty, like 2-part stuff, get it, sculpt it onto like wooden handle base, and then this is polymer clay sculpted around in the oven, but I've used epoxy as well, like this one. See, example, handmade sculpting tool, and one probably sculpted a bamboo that I have a little pointier. Nice flexible blob of old putty. That cured a little blob of epoxy place, and like, that's not going anywhere. I use all the time. Then oh, tool the tool make, because then exactly breaks or wears out, you don't. Oh, got that 10 years ago from like arts college can cut down or what have you. No big deal. Or make a couple of them. Just oh, that wore out. Cool. Honorable retirement. Next one. Alright, just putting out the and especially important with the epoxy because gosh darn everything. I think that it's not that kind of good. Fun stuff. I'm not going. Want something. Oh. Sink in. Of. I want so badly to put the ice in. Like forcing myself. No, no, no. Wait, she's done. And she. The soul of the. Okay. Enough of it. I want us to all of this work. Or take a photo shoot. Body falls off. That would be awful. That happening. I use. But you know. I make my piece. hold up. Ah! Look at that. When broken. Others. See if I have anything. Oh. And it goes that durability in it. Or up over. Okay. Gunk that scrub off. Right, let's see. You're gonna bottom jaw, we don't want that. There we go. Maybe. That's okay. Like collar down to the head for a brick. Sure. But that's it. Didn't come across a solid learning. Try. Third. Dunk all over it. Smooth it out. Where's your cheek? Bugs are obsessed with neck cheek. More than 30 seconds. Then he kind of plows through. The pumpkin wilder being patches because dogs. But I've also them a little larger. What would we give it to her? It's not crunch crunch 2 bites and it's gone. Girl. Dog. Really plows through. Matter of, oh well. But like, it's as large as the stairs. A little bit longer. A couple seconds. go, so we can make sure. Or when I go. Starting. Or Elizabeth. Hey, get out of there. She's being sassy. That's why I'm really for snow. Both of the crazy for children yard to out. simulation. This is what? Heck? Wah! No! Perfect. Alright. Careful. Let's. This is. Stuff. Pardon me. When he's waiting.
But I can't lower. Hiding her cheese.
Silly puppers. As it continues to rip. See, this is what I mean. These gloves are just... I'm not feeling it. Quality questionable. Not okay. Right. All I need. Long enough. Next. Just a little bit. Peak flip. See that? Now it's pliable. And it's literally just take your blob of epoxy, a little bit too firm, sculpt with easily, dunk it in some water. apparently. No. Does mean you get black everywhere. No. Yeah, oh well, I'm gonna be scrubbing later. But now, got a nice plastic bit that makes hair add on. I'm gonna try carefully. This baby. Bottom jaw out of the way so that I don't inadvertently knock it over. Sit out. This is my sculptor friend and I like to call the dang it, why don't we have telekinesis powers? Not quite there because I can put my hand here, but there comes a point in sculptures by a lot of times pages where you kind of run out of places to put your hands where you're not going to smash stuff you've already sculpted still in the case of epoxy that's still curing, or with polymer clay that's not yet baked, which is why a lot of polymer artists will actually sculpt stuff in it's already been sculpted. Soft your sculpt on. Before I go that one work. So snap it. I'm going to start sculpting and working strategically. This right here is why, just for me, I get sculpting channels where the sculptor has like beautiful freaking nails. Sculpting. Wow. Weird cuts. I mean, I suppose if I wore gloves throughout everything. But I've tried sculpting with gloves on before, and I don't know, messes with my kind of, I don't know, I don't even know. It doesn't as material for me. Harder time getting what I want. Getting hats off. YouTube video. Ready. That is definitely a skill I have mastered. There, at our local club that always has the most compliment. This is me. I am not working on a sculpting project if I've got a week where, like, I'm sewing or something. It doesn't involve having my hands in clay. I'll buff myself and out a little. Slap on some polish. It's okay. I would rather pretty stuff than good hands. Ours. much water. Oh my goodness, Fuzzy, hey! What is up, my dude? Hello, my... Gonna teach me how to be a Mooselandian? I hope... Stop sticking my finger, stick in face. I hope you're on this lovely Saturday, full of waffles and panic prepping for a game tonight. Oh, awesome! What you running? Lancer, nice! Very cool. Sorry, I have a... on me for pancake. Oh, our skies are oh, kind of like Pacific Rim, but without the kaiju. Ish. We are working on Leosha's Last Ride Baby, which is a kitty berry boo. And I have a glorious 3D printed cat head that I am working on. Our awesome bendy PLU antlers. Durable. Oh. It's a great worm, so that's why she's kind of enormous. But at the moment, I've got the cheek plates on and I've added a ridge around that I'll be able to fur onto. And now I am doing sculpting millions and millions of tiny bananas. Essentially what it comes down to. Fur tough. Since it's got the boo plating, I wanted to have the fur kind of curving around it instead of just like boo plate slapped on. It's like, oh well, we've got this base already texturing fur everywhere. Look really painted. Boo plate slapped on there. Of course I cannot have a simple product. She's a great worm. She was gonna be amazing to begin with because I have more space to work on stuff, so it's like, to heck with it. And I asked Leosha, I'm like, how do you feel about the fur kind of curling and growing around the... It really looks like, you know, bone or antler kind of... And she was like, yes. It'll look nice, though. Yep. Well, to be fair, this isn't clay. It doesn't need to be baked. good old 2-part. Which, she's going to be a little heavier than I originally anticipated. I think she's going to have like a 4-foot-long body. I think it'll counterbalance. I have seen and heard of other artists do 3D printed stuff. There's actually an artist who does some really freaking brilliant My Little Pony sculpts digitally, and then she, I don't know if she does PLA prints or resin prints. I think she does resin, and then does clay on top of them because she'll customize them to your pony Sona. I don't know if she's using epoxy to sculpt or if she's polymer clay. But I have heard of folks using polymer clay on top of prints. You just have to obviously cook it at low enough temperatures, so low and slow, and probably cook for longer. There's a lot of different filaments that you can actually put in the oven to cook at a low temp that does something to it, like, I don't know, extra cures it or something, so that the PLA ends up being stronger, or the filament ends up being stronger, less likely to break. I've not yet tried that. Going with epoxy because I know strong and durable. I know it's out and photo shoots and whatnot of her, so I wanted to put it in something strong. Epoxy. I mean, have you spent the past, let's be generous and say 25 years, practicing with and learning about different art supplies? Generous and only consider the time that I've been doing it like I am professionally, not that I was doing hobbyist stuff. That might have something. Got those hours in, man. Just a little bit, tiny little bit. Meanwhile, I couldn't run a D&D game. It put a gun to my head and told me life depended on it. Not well, anyway. Last night, I think your players beg to differ. If they keep coming back and keep having fun, that's the most important thing. I suck at keeping Dude, when the hubby and I used to run a vampire werewolf LARP, we were totally scrambling at the last minute trying to remember everything and make sure we brought all of our props, and it's just the nature of it, you know. Sure, everyone will have a blast. There will be much laughter, fun times. And honestly, that's what it's about. Rollable tables. You mean like a physical table to... or like a table, like a chart kind of thing for things that you can roll? Chart type thing. Okay, gotcha. Like, you're making a friggin' gaming table? I've always wanted to do that. I've always wanted to, like, plot out and make one of those big ornate gaming tables that has, like, the little, pockets for everyone to roll dice so they don't fall all over the place, and, like, a spot for the spot in the middle to put, like, your map and your stuff, and just nerd, 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 nerd. Nerd chic, you know? Fun as hell. Oh, preaching to the choir, my friend. Got a billion things to do, and yesterday I was putting together a perler bead sample for the kids for tonight. So I hear ya. It's funny because you get to that point in life when you're like, huh, I want more time to do things that I want to do. Like, oh, I get why people hire other people to do, like, just basic shit so that they have more time. Because, like, money can buy you a lot of stuff. Yeah. Well, plus you've got to eat. Plus you've got to, like, shower and get dressed and errands and. And yeah. It's cool though, you found something. Job decent, you like it? Or at least is it not completely soul draining? Whew, yeah. Okay, fair enough. Hope something better and less icky comes along soon. It's tough. Job market blows right. Ooh. So do you only work 4 days a week? Please tell me that's the trade-off and that you're not still working 5 days a week. Ugh. That sucks. Working 13-hour days, that should be a 4-day work week kind of scenario. So is the Canada is leaning towards a 4-day work week baloney? I thought I was hearing that your part of the world was starting to get smart about that. That not so much the case? well, from what I am given to understand, the social experiment is showing that people are much happier and less stressed, better. They have more time to actually, you know, called living life. Something, something, something capitalism. Yeah, I hear that. Sure, because the old rich people aren't the ones having to be in the offices 5 days a week. Cannot help but notice that people making crappy policies are not the ones that have to live crappy policies. Funny how that works. See people in the office. Productive. I.e. covering. Gotcha. Yeah. I am firmly a work from home, learn from home kind of person. Being in the office work, that's awesome. As long as you are getting your work accomplished in a timely fashion. But then this is someone who has been watching their really well in online classes. So boy, be careful, friend, especially with all the stuff going on with like just telling the husband, with egg prices the way they are, it seems like now would be a really good time to get into having a backyard flock. But then again, funny enough, now would be the apparently we had a hawk in our neighborhood, a tail. She is quite large, and she very curious about our cats. It's been interesting because I go wave by to the hubby one morning, and my little marble loaf was sitting in the front window, curled up in the cat bed. I came over, she saw me, up, stretched, plopped down in front of me, and rolled over, exposing my tummy, pets. And as I'm waving to hubby, all of a sudden I see this dark shape come diving towards the window, fluff out, and veer off. And I was like, holy crap, that was a hawk. And it took me a minute, and I went, holy shit, I think that hawk may have been trying to carry off my cat. Our neighbor has a little bitty dachshund, absolute sweetheart, and she said that she went to let him out to potty, and she saw that same hawk, probably. We were kind of close, and then she moved, and I guess the hawk didn't see her at first, and it clocked her, and it veered off. It's like, oh, good to know. Extra caution when we are opening doors to make sneak out. Although I think even a large female would be hard pressed to tangle with Ivy. Ivy is like pounds. Solid loaf. like skinny boy, and he's stone deaf, so extra caution. It's surprising though. I've never seen a hawk go after, like, in person in my life. Hawk go after a cat. Yeah, it was kind of nuts. Sort of. All of her. It's free roam, but you know, whatever. It was an experience for sure. So, neighborhood long green piece of, there we go. All right, this is finally starting. Too hard for me. Well, I'm gonna put you on. That part in the sculpt where it's like, where can I lay it down that it's not going to screw up something that I have already sculpted? Alright, so that I have an extra blob of clay. Ooh, oh no! No, it's okay. Smushed that. Yeah, seriously. Wait a minute. Oh, Fuzzy, you're a genius. Look at that. Full of ribbon. Works a treat. Now, oh dear, a little black upon quite full. But running around in there. I'm gonna have to. Where's the sculpting? Out from under my nails. Ugh. Let's. Epoxy. There we go. Why not? Well, yes, I do in fact just have an entire. Okay. Now we're going to do some fun audience participation. Hey, Fuzzy. I've got a bunch of butterfly wings. Been laminated. Tail on it. Which one should I turn into a necklace with this blob of epoxy that is sitting not doing anything? We're gonna do 1, 4, 5, 6, 7. 5, 6, 7. Which one should be a necklace? Pendant. Chunk of epoxy left, and I don't want to waste it. Yellow and black one? That would. Yay! I like it when stuff works. Stuff working is a thing. Oh, cool! Yeah, no, understandable. Started doing a funky time traveling um the escape room sort of loved it, and it was funny because like they got to the very end and like, yay, you have completed the puzzle, you have figured it out, and they're like, yay, and you know they went to go leave the room, which is supposed to be the end of it, and it's like as you leave the room you found that started the reset all the other times. They were like, wait, what? No! And that's where he left it off. So now they're kind of like chomping at the bit, going like, we want to go back to that thing! We want to solve the thing! Yeah, yeah. It was fun too. He had me make like some props for it and the kids did it, so good times were had by all. Yeah, that's very much kind of how this felt. Very Groundhog Day sort of escape room. And it's funny because one of the things was a page from a journal with like weird foreign script. And I was like, oh, you need something parchmenty looking with weird script? I got you. And I literally went online and found like script and just did a brushstroke marker and made Cthulhu paper. The kids are like, what is this? And I'm like, I don't know. We're amusing. Oh, hell yeah. I had fun. There was that. There needed to be a pendant medallion that was split in half. Did a snake with like whatnot, and there's supposed to be an ornate mailed skeleton wire wrap around it. Yeah, come see me anytime. I mean, I used to have some ups. Sorry, I had a hard time getting my ring off early. Still. wrestling. Mike is cutting in and out. Hello, is that better? Testing. 1, 2. Yeah. I have a bad habit of, like, the more involved in my art I get, I tend to kind of lower my voice and start to mumble a little bit and not be as clear or articulate. The mic kind of goes, oh, well, really want sound, right? No, friend, I very much want sound. What I was saying was props for a dude and the local chapter, and it's funny, it ended up opposite from where I get dramatic. Well, not wasted. Record your session. Go back and be like, oh, so inspiring. Or so terrifying, depending on if it's, you know, an ally NPC or a villain. I think my favorite thing for Nero I made was a leather mask. I wanted to play a spider scavenger, and scavenger was just the, like, oh, he's a spider anthropomorph thing. But he wanted dreads, like Predator. And so we did the, like, spider mandibles, and I hand twined a whole crap ton of yarn to do an entire head's worth of dreads for him that, like, we wove little charms and bones and whatnot in. And then, obviously there was the cutout for his eyes, but then there was cutouts in the leather for additional eyes. I did plastic, as kind of a cover, but then behind the plastic did, like a red, where I even got it, but this red tape that was light sensitive, so if, like, he stood up out of the dark, and someone, like, scanned a light over him, the light would flash and reflect on the red eyes, and he got red contacts for it, and, like, oh my god, it came out so cool, and I was so freaking proud of it. He wore it to a weekend that it was raining, and the dreads got soaked, and when he finished the weekend, lost it in his car, and forgot about it. They got moldy. Oh, dude, when he told me, oh, can you remake it? I was like, no. Not for all the money, not for all the tea in China. Like, he got a couple of weekends out of it. He enjoyed wearing it. But then, yeah. Like, there is power on Earth that's gonna line that many friggin'... Like, the mask was heavy. We had to add extra straps so that it was secure as he was running around. Your guess is as good as mine. Massively charged. That's stupid. Because he was a friend and it was like, oh man. Reasons that even if the when I will be positive, even when the dear, like, Irish elk mask that I am for Anthrocon this coming year for the art show, and I want to try and do a raven mask. and when those are done and come out freaking awesome, 'cause yes, they will. I am going to keep strictly a it's kind of thing. I feel as though if I did commissions on that kind of thing, care of it, I would have a meltdown. Or at least the thing that I wanted to make. I was inspired to do this. You live and learn. I'll just put it that way. Live and learn. It was one of those, like, he told me the idea and I was like, oh my god, that would be awesome. He wanted to go all out. He wanted to, like, commission someone to do leather armor, like a kind of a Drist style brow leather armor. I don't know if that ever happened. What kills me the most is I never got pictures of it finished. Like, that breaks my heart more than, oh, you know, he basically destroyed it. It's like, alright, well, it's yours, you paid for it. But I didn't get, and that friggin', yeah. I'd like to say I've learned my lesson, but I totally haven't. I still do that occasionally where I'm like, yay! Here is a commission, enjoy! Oh shit, I didn't get pictures. And then myself in the ass, and I'm like, ugh. To be fair, he was supposed to get me good pictures with the whole outfit. Like, oh, get me some low light ones where we can see the eyes being all flashy flashy. I mean, it happens. It's kind of like, you know, with the worms when I would occasionally get one that just went off into the void. Always a little bit like, oh. Tis what it is, unfortunately. I definitely wasn't thrilled. you know, it's one of those things where I don't want to say you get used to it, because I don't think you ever really get used to it. It sucks, but like, yeah. I think it's anything. It's anything that like you put heart and soul into, work hard at, and I feel like that must be kind of like how it feels to be a fursuit maker, you know? Because people that commission you, this is their persona. This is, their, in a lot of ways, I'm gonna say like idealized or kind of their goal, mental of themselves. So it's very innately personal. And then, you know, see your persona in your head, but obviously artists can't like pluck thoughts from heads, which um but like having all that build up and all that, like, oh, I can't wait, I can't wait, I can't wait, and then they get the actual thing, and if it doesn't mesh with their expectation or what they had built up in their head, that sucks, both for the commissioner and for the artist to see that like something they really worked hard on, you know it's tough. I think it's tough whether you are a like physical artist, whether you're a digital artist, whether you're a songwriter, musician, story writer. There we go. I think it's hard to have thoughts or images of what you expect or want something like doesn't mesh. Yeah, well, I mean, I don't have any problem doing adult artwork when I'm, but there is a reason I don't make like a big deal in advertising. A lot of times, yeah, I feel like it can be awkward. That's something personal for someone, and if your um version of it doesn't match head, it's like crap. There we go. As purdy. And now less epoxy wasted. What do you think? Can we use every last little scrap of epoxy? How thrifty can I possibly be with this? there's a random. Let's see. Let's heckin' go. Let's see if we make it not be. Thing. Tiny sad leftover blob of epoxy. Can I? Dead little leftover blob. Whoop. Gosh. It's so small. Now watch, I'll freaking leave this with one of the kids. Like, I'll put it in an area where one of the kids at Pride Night will see it and they'll be like, oh my god, it's so cool. Really? For crap. They get so bloody excited with any kind of funky trinket. Alright. There we go. Oh, sorry, Teen Night. So our town has our town pride group. So that's what I've been doing a lot of times when I'm doing weird little like side crafty things. Like when I did the perler beads last I did a sample. Brought perler bead trays and whatnot, showing the kids how to do them. So they seem to have fun with that, but sometimes I'll bring leftover scrap art projects or whatnot to teen night and they get a real kick out of it. So it's like, stick this in one of the bead bins and not say anything, and one of them will find it when they're making friendship. Like, oh. I'll put like a jump ring in it. Let it be sitting there. Stumble across it. Oh, they are pretty adorable. They are super enthusiastic and they love artsy stuff and doing costumes and whatnot. There's definitely some junior cosplayers in that crowd. When we had our Halloween party, you know, costumes obviously were not required, but they were encouraged. And one of our girls who does a lot of goth clothes came, and I'm sitting here going like, I know this outfit. I know this outfit. My brain is not telling me what it is, and I'm like, okay, looks real familiar. And she's like, Nadia. I was like, from What We Do in the Shadows? Oh my god, that's amazing! So, nerd. They're a good group of kids. They really are. They're very sweet. Very high energy most of the time. They're good beans. Nerd. Alright, I think I'm gonna call it quits and go attempt to scrub my hands before they're like this all weekend, and even... Crap, it's almost 2 o'clock, yeah. Make some brunch, lunch. Awesome to see, awesome to hear from you. chat more. Most assuredly. Are you theoretically ACing this year? Fingers crossed if, you know, everything's not completely on fire. Oh, didn't get to. Gotcha. Well, I will keep fingers crossed because it'd be awesome to see it all. And I will also hope that the job situation is better and something way better comes your way very soon. Ooh! Well, this is what I get for late nights and early mornings. Take care. Well, be safe. In there. Around.